Today's lesson is determining the constant of proportionality from a table. The learning target says, given a table, I can determine the constant of proportionality for the data. There are 3 steps in determining the constant of proportionality, and I should have given you these for notes in your interactive math notebook so that you can refer to them later. Step number 1 says we are going to determine the change. This little triangle right here, that means change. I'm trying to color it in. It's not coloring very well. The change in y as your numerator over the change in x. So that little triangle also means change. Step 2 is your answer written as a unit rate. And step 3, we're going to check our work with a graph. So let's look at this table. Sometimes tables are drawn horizontally, which means that they go left to right. And when that happens, notice your x is your top data and your y is your bottom data. Well, my first step says I have to find the change in y over the change in x. So I'm going to look here from 10 to 7. The change is -3. From 7 to 4, I'm also going to subtract 3. 4 to 1, still a -3. And the 1 to -2 is also a -3. So my change, it looks like I'm counting down by 3s each time. That's my numerator. And then my denominator is the change in x. So from 0 to 2, I'm going to add 2. 2 to 4, I'm adding 2. 2 to 6, I add 2. 6 to 8, I add 2. So it looks like I'm adding 2 as my denominator. Now you can decide if you want to put that plus or not. So for my constant of proportionality, this is written as a unit rate. I have a numerator and a denominator. It looks like it's -3 over 2 as my answer. So let's check this with a graph. So I'm going to offset this a bit, I believe, like this. So let's count by 2s, maybe 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, so my data was 0, 10, go over 0, up 10, make a dot. 2, 7, over 2, up 7, make a dot. 4, 4, over 4, up 4, make a dot. 6, 1, over 6, up 1, make a dot. And 8, -2. Go over 8, go down -2, make a dot. All right, so it looks like the data from the table we just worked with, when it's graphed, it's going to look like that. So in class, we talked about how to find the constant proportionality from a graph. And we picked any 2 dots we wanted to. And I'm going to pick this dot and this dot. We counted between them. Now keep in mind that my intervals on my side are by 2s. So I'm going down 1, 2, 3, and over 2. If I go down to the next one, I'm going down 1, 2, 3, and over 2. Down 1, 2, 3, and over 2. Down 1, 2, 3, and over 2. Every time to get from one dot to the next, I had to go down 3 and over 2. That matches the constant proportionality I found from my table. Sometimes your table is vertical, meaning it goes up and down. And in that case, your x values are going to be on the left and your y values are going to be on the right. But we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find the change in y over the change in x. So y appears to be going from 0 to 4. I added 4. 4 to 8, added 4. 8 to 12, added 4. 12 to 16, I added 4. So it looks like I'm going to add 4 on the y side. You can use your plus sign if you want to. I'm going to choose not to. On the x side, I went up 1, went up another 1, added another 1, added another 1. Looks like the change in y, it's going up by 1 each time. I have a unit rate, I have a number on the top and a number on the bottom. I believe my constant of proportionality is 4 to 1, but we'll graph that and make sure. So here's my graph paper. I'm going to make it like this. I'm going to count by 2s again, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 2, this is 0. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. My first data point was at 0, 0, so that's right there. I'm going to make a dot. Second data point is at 1, 4, over 1, up 4. Third data point, over 2, up 8. Next data point, over 3, up 12. And last data point is over 4, up 16. And I'm just going to connect my dots. Ooh, that wasn't as straight as it could have been if I'd used a ruler. All right, so we learned how to find the constant of proportionality from a graph. We can pick any 2 dots. I'm going to pick the top 2, and I'm just going to count down and over. So in this case, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. 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 Now in this case, I went down by 4 and to the left 1. Now that doesn't look like it matches, but let's think about that. If you have a negative on top and on the bottom, your negatives are going to cancel out, and that is exactly equal to 4 over 1, which is what I thought the constant of proportionality was going to be.